You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates. You're watching Pirate Breakdown with Sutton Young. Join Sutton every Wednesday night on The Sports Objective as he talks East Carolina football. Here's Sutton.
And with that, a good Wednesday night to you. I'm Sutton Young. Welcome back into Pirate Breakdown. I've got arguably one of the biggest ECU fans out there, Zoey Russell, junior at ECU. Zoey, I mean, the game on Saturday might have been one of the best I've seen. I know you were in the seats for it. Walk me through that game.
It was a pretty good game. It was wild. It had me on the edge of my seat the whole time, freaking out. I think we played it very well. We could have done better, but we did take the win in 4 overtimes. It was interesting to watch 4 overtimes and be a huge ECU fan in the stands, freaking out the whole time.
Yeah, that definitely was one that had many on the edge of their seats, though. Something that many Pirate fans have just hated for years are white helmets. Well, the Pirates certainly proved that wrong. They won in the white helmets. I honestly like the white helmets. We have a picture of these uniforms coming up for you in a second. I loved them. I
thought they were awesome too. I was sitting actually in front of the guy who designed them.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like the curse of the white uniforms and the white the white helmets. It went away.
Yeah,
we ended that curse.
No, I love the white helmets. I always have, and everyone's like, "Oh, don't wear them, burn them." No. You know, I mean, doesn't matter. But bottom line is, it was a win, and I think a big part of that win was Keaton Mitchell. He had a heck of a game, especially in overtimes.
Oh, definitely. He's one of our biggest players. If it wasn't for him, we'd be a little bit behind on the 8 ball, I think. I think he's one of our best players we've got.
No doubt.
Watch him play and how he plays.
There are the uniforms on the screen for you. Yeah, love the uniforms. Loved Keaton's play too. I'll tell you what, who made their mark in that uniform was Julius Wood. He had frankly, the biggest play of the game, the pick 6. Frankly, it changed the momentum. Zoey, I know you saw that. You've seen a lot of good plays at ECU. I'll be honest, that might have been one of the best I've seen in recent memory.
Oh, definitely. That was one of our best plays we've had by far. I think it also helped. Our team seemed to feel like they were all together here today or Saturday's game. They seemed like they kind of had their head in it.
Certainly. Now let's break down the offense a little bit here. The offense struggled in the first half. If it wasn't for a couple of I don't want to say lucky plays, but a couple really good plays that went ECU's way, we would have gone into the locker room with a big fat 0 on the scoreboard, and we got lucky there. And frankly, I think that changed the momentum because Memphis had it the whole game. And I mean, frankly, Zoey, the offense just was non-existent in the first half.
Yeah, our offense was moving a little slow. Our defense saves us, though. Our defense, we've got a great defense, I think. We could work on our offense. I think the coach for our quarterback needs to help Holton a little bit with some of his form and stuff and the fundamentals. Because watching Holton play, it just looks like he's out of balance on that back foot too much.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, Holton's a good player. I mean, you're going to have sparks with Holton where he's really good, and then you're going to have sparks where you're wondering what's going on. So I think the biggest thing for me is getting the consistency right. If you have the consistency right,
exactly,
I think you're golden. Isaiah Winstead, also very solid. He's been a great addition. He was, I believe, at Georgia before he came here. He's made a tremendous impact. Zoe, I don't know if you know this, but ECU's always been a wide receiver school. Justin Hardy, Zay Jones, Isaiah Winstead, man, I mean, he looks to be really, really good.
Yeah, we got some good players out there. Our wide receivers are good. I like the way we're looking. Like to improve our statistics here, but,
Right. I mean, we all know that the team should not be 4-3. They should be 6-1 and
Definitely.
I mean, that's just, it's the truth. I mean, I don't like to say the what ifs, but I mean, it's pretty evident. Let's talk about Andrew Conrad. He came in for the PATs and field goals, and he looked pretty good for a freshman.
He did. He looked really good. I think the decision for the coach to put him in was a great one made. I think it should have been made earlier in the season, but it is what it is. But I was thankful that he got out there and he did what he should be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that he had a really, really good game. That one, it wasn't a missed extra point, but the snapper had a miscommunication with placeholder, so that wasn't on Andrew. So really props to him. If we're going to look at special teams, he really did well. Zoe, have you really had a chance to look at the rest of the league? Obviously, UCF's a big-time player. Have you looked at them at all?
I've looked at them a little bit. It seems like we got a run for our money here coming up this weekend.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on the Knights?
I think they're a good team. I think we're going to have a hard time fighting against them with our offense and their defense. But I don't know. I think I hate to say it, but I don't know too much about this game. Leaning towards the losing side for us, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get into the pick in just a minute. Our producer Bubba probably remembers this just as painfully as I do. I don't know if you know this, Zoe, but frankly, the most heartbreaking play – no, well, not even heartbreaking, just most mouth-opening play was at the end of the game in 2014. ECU rallied back. They were down double digits, took the lead with a minute and a half. Coach kneed it, kept on kneeing it. UCF got the ball. Last play of the game, Hail Mary. 2 ECU defenders tipped it. Then UCF player behind our 2 players caught it, got the win. They got the conference championship. I mean, UCF to me is one of those rivalries where it's pretty bitter. Bubba, I see you're here now. You remember that game as painfully as I do? But we got you. It's like we're having some audio difficulties with Bubba. But no, I mean, the series with UCF 2015, ECU flat out smacked them like a pancake. It wasn't even close. But since then, unfortunately, the Pirates have had 0 success against UCF. I mean, frankly, aside from last year, I mean, there really haven't been many close games. Zoe, do you remember watching last year's game against UCF?
I don't think I was there for that one, actually. Not last year's game.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a good game, forgettable at the end. It was one of those games last year where we came back, had a great chance of winning, didn't, and it was clearly disappointing. But certainly it's going to be an interesting game. UCF, I don't know if you saw this one too, Zoe. They hung 70 on Temple. So you have to look at that and you have to think it's either going to be ECU is going to get blown out of the water or UCF is going to come in high, overlook ECU, which I'm not saying they will. I don't think they will. But it's a possibility. But let's get this straight here, too. Temple's terrible. The 2 teams.
I agree.
They are
yeah.
terrible. I mean,
I think it depends on what team of ours shows up for the game Saturday. I mean, we tend to have hit and miss days for game days, and it depends on who shows up and what their mentality is going into this game on what if they really want it or not.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's certainly a game that the Knights certainly are not overlooking. I mean, they just faced off against the brand they call Temple Tough. I frankly call them Temple Soft, but it is what it is. Temple, I mean, just get ready for basketball season. That's all I can say for the Owl fans. But UCF is going to be a big challenge. We don't know if this will be the last time we face them. They're going off to the Big 12. And ECU, while the Pirates and the Knights win the Conference USA, had a decent edge on that series. But UCF, man, I mean, they have just rallied. They've been one of the 2-3 teams in the conference who, if you want to make the championship or be successful in the conference, you have to beat UCF.
Oh, yeah, they've got a good record. They got a good team going for them. That's going to be a pretty good competition for us on Saturday for our game. Our boys are going to have a tough time fighting them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Zoey, if the Pirates were to win, what do you think would be the key for you?
I don't know. We just score-wise, I have no idea what it would end up being, honestly. But we got to really go in with a strong head and say that we're going to win this game and have our fundamentals together, our kicker in the right spot and everybody in the right spot, and make sure everybody's just doing their fundamentals. At the end of the day, in athletics, all that really matters is your fundamentals. You got your fundamentals. You're getting somewhere. But if you don't have your fundamentals, you can forget it.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I certainly agree. I think a big loss for this team, and frankly, should have mentioned it more last week, Rajay Harris being out for the year. I mean, you look at his size. When you look at the offense, I told people, I said, well, Keaton's there for the long runs, but when you want a quick touchdown, when you're in the red zone, I mean, frankly, more like the 5-4 yard line, go to Rajay. He's got the size. He has speed. He will get you a touchdown. It's a lot harder now. I mean, Marlon Gunn's a good player, but he still didn't crack the end zone. I know that that first drive in particular, Donnie K and Ehlers were trying to get him in the end zone. Didn't work. But, I mean, if ECU wants to win on Saturday, two things are going to have to show big. Defense is going to have to stay like they've been playing. They're going to have to play well. And to follow up on that, they're going to have to contain UCF in the second half because at one point in the UCF Temple game, it was 14-13, I believe. So, and then it just went skyrocket for UCF. I mean, 70 points. I mean, you don't see it often. ECU's been on both sides of it. But, it's going to be interesting. Another thing that has to be
our defense in on their game and, kind of make sure we're making the right plays, making the right calls. And, frankly, our offense against them, I don't think we need to run the ball as much.
Why do you say that? Up
the middle, running the ball just doesn't seem to be working for us. The Carolina Panthers and the ECU Pirates tend to play a lot similar. That's my take on it.
Give me some of the similarities there.
Well, the Panthers will be up, winning. We'll be the same way, and then they just kind of, I guess they just get tired or they think they've got it and kind of tend to throw it away at the end of the game. Or the other way around. They'll be losing all of a sudden, bam, here's a new team. Whoa, where'd they come from? Out of the locker room after the first half, draft time. So, no, I think they're very similar. I think we have we tend to play a lot alike. Their plays are a lot similar, I think, personally as well, running the ball up the middle. Running the ball up the middle for us just doesn't work.
No. I mean, since I agree, but in another sense, I think it's flipped. ECU has not done well in the first half of games, but in the second half, they've lit up. I mean, the Panthers, I'm a diehard Panther fan, and they are, without question, the worst team in the NFL.
Oh, no, sir.
Matt Rule, I mean, he's gone. He's going to go look for his new college job. But I told people early on when they hire Rule that, look, if you don't nail the coordinators, you're gone. And he didn't. He's gone. But the thing about, and I hate saying this about my own NFL team, the thing about ECU and the thing about the Panthers is ECU has potential to go to a bowl and have a successful season. Only thing really Panther fans like myself, hate to say it, can hope for is the first pick in the draft next year.
Yeah, ECU's got a lot going for them. We got a lot to look forward to, a lot of good players. So in that sense, I think we could have a better season. We've only got a few games left. I think it's 4 games?
5.
5? Okay, 5 counting this weekend.
Right.
So there's only 2 home games left, so hopefully they decide to show up and show out for their fans.
It would certainly be nice if this is the last time we play UCF to send them home with a loss, because that's how it went early on in this series, I believe. It just was consistency with ECU. And then the tides changed a little bit. Zoe, I know you've said it all show. Doesn't seem like you have a ton of confidence with the Pirates. Do you think it's going to be close, or do you think it's going to be lopsided, or are you just teasing everybody and you think ECU is going to win?
I think ECU might win this one.
Okay.
I'm kind of I'm hopeful that they're going to win it, but at the same time, I don't want to get my hopes up or everybody else's hopes up, because we tend to not pull through sometimes, and that's okay. But I think we'll have a strong first half or strong first quarter, and then towards the second half, I think, is when we'll really show up when we come out of that locker room after their talk with everyone and Mike, our head coach, Mike Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll kind of get their head back in the game after losing or whatever it is that they're doing. I think we're going to be all right the first quarter, and then second quarter we're going to start to tank it a little bit.
I like that. I mean, I could see that, though. I think for me, I think it's going to be similar to, frankly, all of our other games, is we're going to get down early. We're not going to really know our identity early. We're going to have it close in the second quarter. If we don't have it close in the second quarter, we're not winning the game. There's no chance.
Oh, yeah.
So you have a score?
Not really. It's hard to tell with ECU, man. It's hard to tell, especially playing UCF. UCF's just a good team all around. If we do win, that's a 1-point game right there.
So who are you? If you had to put money on it, you had to pick somebody. Who you picking?
It's hard to say, being an ECU fan. Come on now, don't put me in that spot.
I mean, I'll go first.
I don't know. I think UCF might take this win home.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, you're not going to offend me. I mean, everyone who knows or who watches the show knows I'm not soft when it comes to picking ECU. I'm only going to pick them if I genuinely think that they're going to win the game. Do I genuinely think ECU is going to win the game? No. I think UCF is way more talented. You look at the 70 burger they put on Temple, should say quite a bit. And this is not to bash ECU, but you see a lot of teams when they have a big, thrilling win, they'll kind of steep down the next game. That's what I'm a little bit worried ECU is going to do. But I'm not saying it's going to happen. If I had to go with a score, I think that the defense will be able to contain them. Certainly they will not score anything higher than 45. I can guarantee that. I'll go 37-20. I think UCF will win, though all I'll say is I do not think this will be the last time we play UCF. Zoe, thank you for coming on. Your perspective was really spot on, and look forward to having you soon.
All right, thanks.
All right, and thank you all for joining me here on Pirate Breakdown. We will see you next week, and have a great night.